Woo! What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting. We hunt for the good reels, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad. Bretman's right over here. We have a freaking awesome guest with us today, Matt Facci, right down below. He's the man, the Halloween Meister, if you will. And today we're going to be talking the new Halloween trilogy that we're working on, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. If you like Halloween, be sure to check out our other Halloween videos. We'll put a link up for it somewhere, and we'll get rocking and rolling. So how are you guys doing today?
Fantastic. Couldn't wait to do this with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially you have us on your show twice now, and you haven't even graced us with your presence on our show. So we definitely had to make this happen. I'm glad we're doing a Halloween Talks with you. And right now I'm doing good. As of this recording, this is the day before the Super Bowl, so the nerves have not kicked in yet. Which at this point,
by the time you guys are seeing this, Tom Brady would have won another Super Bowl.
Verizon is donating a $1 million check to Local Initiative Support Corporation on behalf of...
So it's going to be... No, I'm kidding. So obviously, Matt down here, if you can't tell from his background, he's the freaking Halloween guru, dude. He's got the mask, he's got the posters, he's got the love for the franchise, dude. That's what's important here. And if you haven't seen us before on his channel, we've done a couple great episodes. One Scream episode a while back, and then just a couple weeks ago, we did a watch along for Tremors, which is awesome. And by the way, we need to watch Tremors 2 now because I'm in the mood for some shriekers, man.
Yeah.
But good times. We'll have his links down below. And today we just wanted to just talk Halloween, man. Just keep it casual. We don't really have anything. We just want to pick Matt's brain down here because actually it's interesting. Matt, your favorite Halloween movie is actually 2018. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
That's why we freaking have him here today, man. So, so just kind of starting off, man. So back, a few years ago when they announced the new Halloween movie, Halloween 2018, essentially, what were you kind of expecting from that? And then how did you feel after it came out? Did it meet your expectations? I'm assuming it probably did. Did it surpass them? Just briefly, just to kind of get your backstory on that movie.
Obviously I was friggin' jacked when I knew it was coming out because Rob Zombie's 1 and 2 did nothing for me, unfortunately. I know a lot of other of our buddies love those films, but I
was like, be careful, Matt, because Destiny might be listening.
She already clearly knows how I feel about those movies. We've talked so many damn times about that. I was hoping they couldn't redo H2O again. I didn't want to see Laurie battle, fighting again, chop his head out, you know what I mean, kill him. I didn't want to see the same story replayed again, just from a different director. I wanted to see maybe Michael hashed out a little bit more, dive a little bit more into what she's been up to for the past 40 years, which obviously we saw the Sarah Connor version of Laurie, which some people don't like as much as the H2O version, but I was fine with it. I wanted the same like stalking that Michael did in the original, which obviously we didn't really get too much of. But I wanted to see the brutality from the other films that I loved in the franchise, like 4, 5, even though it's a shit show, and Halloween 6. I wanted to see them combine the stalker Michael and the creepy Michael with the brutal Michael, and I think they did a damn fine job with it. And I knew I was gonna like it probably regardless. I was probably a little biased, but no, it was well above what I thought it was gonna be. And that's obviously why I have it at number 1 on my rankings, which pisses a lot of people off. But
I think it's interesting. Because you don't see that a lot, and obviously everybody has the first one as their favorite. So that brings me to, I guess, another question about it, just briefly, because our main goal is to talk about the new trilogy. But how did you start off Halloween movies? Were they did you have a lot of nostalgia for the first one? Is that something that was easily replaced for you, or is that something that it's always been one that you've loved more than most movies?
I was gonna say my brother is the one who got me hooked on horror to begin with, and Halloween were the ones that he'd always bring up to me. That and Friday the 13th, which is probably why Friday is my second favorite franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But I started with the original Halloween, and I just fell in love with Michael Myers, the character. I didn't really care so much about the other characters until obviously I got older. But just the white mask, doesn't speak, don't know why he's there, what he's doing, and as the franchise grows, you get to learn a little bit more about Michael, and I don't know why he's so fascinating to me. I just fell in love with the story, just escape mental patient, even though that has been done a bajillion times over. But none of
Mr.
them
Jingles.
have been able, yeah,
Mr. Jingles.
but none of them have been able to capture what Carpenter did in that original '78 classic. That obviously nobody knew that it was going to be any good. The test screening sucked without the music. They added the score and the music and then just bumped that shit up, made it so much creepier. And that's probably another aspect why I love it so much. Just the theme, all the music that Carpenter has put into this franchise along the way, and other interpretations of the theme music along the way. It's just fantastic. And when he came back for 2018, he just, to me personally, he killed it even more with a better soundtrack than the original in 2018.
Yeah, I'm the same way. The Halloween 2018 is my favorite score soundtrack in the entire Halloween franchise. So I am right there with you on that. I even bought the very nice, like the special edition one where they included more from the movie on that. And I listened to the entire thing. I've never been more creeped out to be in my own house than I was listening to that soundtrack.
It's a hell of a soundtrack, man. I do prefer the first, but this one's probably the second best in the franchise for me. But yeah, I mean, that's all interesting. I think Bert and I both really enjoyed 2018, right, Bert? I mean, we had a good time with it.
Yeah, he calls me Bert. It was a really good time. Like, I had a lot of fun. There were a lot of kills where I was not expecting it to be that, like, to go that extreme, like with the Sartang one. I'm like, oh man, this is a very brutal ass Myers. And then of course when he stabbed that one girl through the neck when he was going on that rampage, that was another like, oh damn. But like, is it the best? Like, no offense, Matt, is it the best movie in the Halloween franchise? I would say not, but it is up there for me just because it did blew my expectations of what I thought we were going to get.
Yeah,
it's definitely one of the best sequels, objectively speaking. I mean, it's it's one of the best for sure. Was there anything? So I agree, man. I think it was. I really liked it. It's probably maybe my third favorite movie in the franchise, fourth, depending on how I'm feeling with Halloween 4 that day.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. I love the way that obviously James Jude Courtney was fantastic in it, man. Like, he freaking he blew it out of the water. That was something we haven't seen since the original, as far as the portrayal of Michael Myers. So obviously that was great. That's one thing this trilogy got freaking off to a good start with.
Yeah.
Is him, and having him come back and kills and presumably ends. Yeah, that's great news, man. Because we never had. I mean, other than freaking your boy from God's blinking on me right now. Shoulder pad boy.
George Wade Wilbur.
Yes, Wilbur, Mr. Wilbur. Other than him, we haven't had really anybody come back and reprise the role. So it's cool. It's nice to have that continuity. So that's exciting. The soundtrack, Johnny Boy Carpenter's coming back. It's going to be great. We're going to get some more soundtracks. Was there anything that in Halloween Kills that you didn't necessarily like? You hope they can do better in this one? Just in general.
Probably don't throw in any stupid ass twists that don't need to be added, like the obvious one, the Dr. Sartain twist that ended up leading to absolutely nothing. So besides him leading Michael to Laurie, that movie would have been exactly the same if that Sartain part was not in there at all. So I just think just stick to the basics. Don't try to, did you see that little twist? No, because it backfired anyway in 2018. So just don't do that. And they should be all right.
I think so too. Are you what I mean, and obviously too, one problem I had with 2018 was the comedy, and I think that's pretty common. Yeah, I think everybody feels that way. I think with some of the parts, that's something I'm hoping they kind of address in the next two to kind of make it more scary, less comedic. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that, and I think hopefully they learn from those mistakes. Yeah, because that's been a very common complaint. Anything else, Bert?
Nothing wrong to add like with the comedy in it. It's just like comedy placement. I feel like that was the main issue with Halloween 18 with the Julius scene ruining that closet scene. I was so pissed off because I did like Julius, or not Julius, Julian. Julius is in Manhattan. But yeah, I liked him, and like he had good comedy moments. And then just when that closet thing happened, he's like, "Oh shit." And just ran out. I'm like, oh, that just took me out of the moment. I'm like, son of a bitch. But yeah, I just hope like with Kills, just little comedy, because this one for Halloween Kills needs to be what the title is. All about the kills, all about being brutal. This is no laughing matter. Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think that's right. Now, obviously, okay, so 2018 happened. It made a bunch of money. It did really well. Most people liked it. A lot of people didn't.
That's an understatement. It broke freaking records, man.
Yeah, it tore shit up at the end of the day. They announced they're doing 2 more movies, Kills and Ends. What were your first impressions on that? Were you thinking this is going to be? Were you thinking 2 movies would be good? Would you think it's a little bit too much? Are you jacked about it? What do you think?
Knowing me, you know that I'm jacked about it. Obviously, I want as many as they can pump out, but they can't just keep dragging the same storyline forever. I mean, it's over 40 years. We're still chasing the same lady, and that part kind of gets old.
Yeah.
But I obviously, after watching 2018, I honestly didn't know if they were going to make another one. And the way it appeared is that he was going to die in the basement of Laurie's house, and that was going to be the end of it. When they announced their Kills and Ends, obviously I was super excited. I was just a million things went racing through my head. How's he going to get out of the basement? What's going to happen? How's he going to do this, do that? But I just, like I said, I don't want them to drag the same shit over and over and over again. So it gets old and sour, and nobody really gives a shit anymore. But I don't think David Gordon Green's going to let that happen. He is here. As much as people don't say it, I think he's here for the fans. I think he wants to please all of us and give us exactly what we want. I don't think John Carpenter is going to let them make a piece of shit, obviously, since he's still there on whatever basis he's there. I don't think they're going to displease us. I don't. Even though a lot of people were displeased by 2018, but I think that this one's going to redeem itself and turn those people around.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. Like, John Carpenter would not come back for any Halloween movie, like if he was not confident that it was going to succeed. And you could even say the same thing with Jamie Lee Curtis, because she's like, we kind of know her feelings about the whole Halloween franchise, that kids shouldn't watch it, all that BS. But yeah, if they got to bring her back, like, you got to have confidence like that this Halloween trilogy is going to succeed. And after my thoughts on the first one, I was easily on board with having 2 more. But if the story makes sense, which I feel like the story is going to make sense for this. And I feel like everybody, like directors, producers, and everybody behind the scenes, that team is going to do a good job taking care of this Halloween trilogy.
No doubt.
I agree. I think this is a similar. And Matt, you probably don't know too much about this. It's outside of your wheelhouse, but this is a similar crossroads they reached with after how Star Wars: Force Awakens. Right. Okay. You had this long, waited freaking sequel coming out.
Ooh, it came comparison.
Out. Yeah, I think so. And it came out, right? And a lot of people really liked it, but you had a small section of fans, oh, it's just a ripoff of New Hope, all this, yada, yada. Obviously, you can't please everybody. It's always got its downers. But both of these movies did a tremendous job of setting up the trilogy that they're doing, right? Like, they do a great job of reintroducing the characters and putting a story in front of them to see where things go. Obviously, Star Wars kind of failed with that after Force Awakens. But what we have here in Halloween is a bit of continuity that we didn't have in that comparison. Like Star Wars did the thing, J.J. Abrams came in, and then new director came in and took over for a movie, right? Ruined the whole trilogy. We don't have that here. We got the same. Everybody's coming back. We got the same directors coming in, the same Michael coming in. Everything's coming back. So I think they have more potential to make an actual solid trilogy here, where the story is it's coherent, it flows, and we see some things set up in the next movie that maybe don't get revealed until ends, kind of some things rolling like that to create that intrigue. So that being said, what do we want to see out of these next two movies? Where should the story go from here?
With kills, like you guys said, I want kills. I want what they say, 10 times the body count, which everybody always talks about that. I highly doubt he's going to kill 160, 170 people. Just seems a little unrealistic. I'm thinking with a title like that, I'm thinking at least like 40-ish, which is still a lot for a slasher. Like, that's insane. But I think it's what it has to be with a title like that. They can't call it Halloween Kills and you go in and you get, I don't know, 12 deaths. That's just literally what it made. But obviously, they're going to be bringing in all some more characters from 78. I just hope they don't linger too much on their backstories and whatnot, so don't get lost. And then you're just like, wow, what's going on here again? Like 5 minutes with this person, 5 minutes with this person, 5 minutes. We don't need that. Just show a quick glimpse what they're doing, what they did, and move on. Maybe somehow within the movie, as it goes along, it'll like kind of explain it without actually telling you what they did for the past 40 years. You know what I mean? But just focus on I think this is gonna be Michael's movie. I think
that's exactly what I was about to say.
It needs to be.
And then ends can focus on the surrounding characters like Allison and Lori if she magically makes it through this one, and Karen if she magically makes it through. But this has to be Michael's full brutality. I'm like H6 Myers, but looking like the OG Myers, which is better for me. But that's what I want from Halloween Kills, no doubt.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a brutal ass Michael. One thing I might kind of like to see in this is like a cat and mouse thing, right? He's gonna get out of the house at the beginning. He's gonna slay some firefighters, and he's gonna get out. And I'd kind of like to see the rest of the movie kind of be on his heels, like you kind of see, he's off on a freaking rampage, killing everybody, and you keep trying to get closer and closer to him, but he's always a step ahead of the game and ahead of the mob, and he's just out there freaking slaying it, man. And ultimately you get a freaking bloodbath.
Yep.
I think that'd be kind of neat. And yeah, I mean, it totally, like you said, it's going to be his movie. It's got to be. But I would like to see a little bit more stalking and more shadow stuff. Like we got a little bit of that in 2018. But obviously that was his whole MO back in 78. So it would be kind of cool to see that. But at the same time, he needs to be prevalent in the story and be carrying everything.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that word up, story. Like, I definitely want more story to go along with those kills, because like if Michael's just killing people that we enjoy without a story, we're not as invested in those characters. So if we can develop the characters more, like especially Karen, because I do think she is going to get killed in Halloween Kills. If we can develop her story more, and just for us as the audience to connect with her more, then her death would be a brutal impact to the story too. And for the hospital, like that teaser trailer we got with everybody outside the hospital, don't rule out the 100 deaths, because Michael could be killing all of them. But no, I don't think that'll actually happen. But hey, anything can happen. So I'm going with 33 deaths. That's my prediction for Halloween Kills.
Okay.
I'm going to go 36. I'm going to split the difference with you guys. I'm going to go somewhere right there. I'm going to say, I think you do have, in the hospital, you do have potential for some freaking slayings, though, dude. If he just goes around just freaking tearing it up door to door, just freaking, whatever.
Yeah, just like Jason in that cornfield scene, Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can easily see a scenario like that, but with Michael at the hospital.
Yeah, dude. I think that could be cool. You could do the Halloween 2 thing again. Obviously, this wouldn't be the main location, but you could do it briefly, but with more people in there, like you would probably actually see in a hospital. And yeah, I mean, that could be cool. I just don't know, man. The story, because based on the trailer, we don't know anything about this thing.
No.
Like, I mean, the story-wise,
which is good.
which is fantastic. I love that. We don't know if it's going to take place, how big of the role the hospital is going to take a place. We don't know. We've seen the mob out there on the streets with baseball bats and shit. Like, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, which is great. Now, hopefully they keep it that way. Hopefully they don't ruin anything. But man, I think it's they had a great setup before to really just let him loose in this one, man. And I'm jacked about it. I'm jacked.
Yeah, and about like with the teaser trailers and stuff, I feel like honestly, if we don't get another one until the movie is released, whether it be on VOD or in the theater, which I hope it's the theater. But I don't want to see anymore. Like I kind of know like what we're about to get ourselves into without knowing the actual story. I like to actually, the least I know about a movie going into the theater, the better the movie's going to be for me.
Yeah, dude, for sure. What do you guys' thoughts? I know Brett and I did a video on this not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago now. It was a little while ago. But either way, what are y'all's thoughts on the returning characters? We have like 7, 8 of them, dude, from pretty much everybody in '78 except for Annie, Bob, and PJ Souls is coming back. Linda, what do you think is going to happen to all those guys? You worried about it, or are you jacked about it?
I'm not. I think Tommy Doyle is gonna. Anthony Michael Hall, I think, is gonna nail it. I think he looks fantastic from the clips we've seen and the pictures. So I think he's gonna be badass. Lindsay Wallace, I don't anticipate her being in that movie very long.
Right.
Marion Chambers, I don't know how big of a role she's gonna have. I mean, she is a bit older, so I can imagine she's gonna have a lot of screen time. Charles Cyphers. Once again, I can't imagine he's going to have a lot of screen time either, being, I don't even know, what is he in his 80s, I think?
Pushing 90, dude. He's
90.
Yeah.
I can't see him having more than kind of like I've heard people say maybe he was the one driving the truck that took him to the hospital. Maybe, I don't know. Or he's
that was
guard.
That was, if you saw Dave McRae's concept, that was his, so he's 81, so he's got some life in him. Yeah.
I think that was Dave maybe that said maybe he'll try to like go fight Michael, or somebody said that. That would not end very well at all. So I would highly recommend he doesn't do that. But I'm excited to see them back. It's going to be badass. I just hope, like I said, they don't linger too long on those new characters to take away from the characters we've already grown to love. If we love them, nobody loves Karen, but the other one.
No, man, I'm with you on that. Like, that's my big worry about bringing all these characters back. Like, because for those type of characters, for me, they need to establish the newer characters. Like, not like take away their screen time, but just to enhance like Allison and Karen's characters and their character arc. Like, they don't need to need majority screen time. Like, they're just there just to help move the story along. And honestly, I don't care if all of them died. Like, really, because with the Tommy Doyle one, I feel like that's going to be the ultimate showdown of the movie for Halloween Kills is Tommy versus Michael. Like, I'm telling you, I feel like that's going to be the most brutal fight of the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to be cool. I can't wait for that. That's because that's a good arc from the first one. When he's looking at you, like Tommy, he's just a little kid. He's defenseless, and he's seeing Michael outside, and he's freaking out. The boogeyman. And now he's come full circle. He's a badass now, and he's ready to take on the boogeyman head on hand. That's a good arc from the first one. I think that's going to be cool. I don't know how well it'll work for him. Well, I guess we'll see. What about now, while they're doing this mob thing that they're doing here, with the whole freaking revenge angle they're doing, they're freaking just going out, they're freaking circling the town up, and they're going to go freaking slay it with Michael. What if freaking like Lindsay or Annie or something like that, they had a sibling or something that joins the crowd, and they're going to freaking come out here and start tearing it up too, like, hey dude, you freaking killed my sister when I was 9. Now I'm going to come freaking tear you up, It could happen.
I think that's too much, though.
Hey, maybe it is, but remember in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 when Lindsay's dad comes in, like that was a cool little because you see the aftermath of that, of the deaths and stuff. So I don't know, it could be interesting. Just it's something that you're not thinking about. But what about the one thing I'm a little bit mixed on is the obviously we're gonna have, I think it's gonna be awesome to see, but I don't know the purpose behind it, and that's the flashback to 78 with Lonnie.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. And we got to think about how long are they going to linger
Yeah.
back in 78.
And what purpose is it going to serve?
I really didn't want to see him getting captured by the police.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
That's like the only thing I could, like, what else would happen? That doesn't even, it's like the only thing that could happen, really. Because in that little clip, they show him running into Lonnie, but that's supposedly after he fell off the balcony. So I don't know where that flashback's going to come into play or what it's going to do. Or I know they're going to hopefully show the Myers house again, obviously, which is fantastic. One way or in the flashback or the present. So I'm excited for that. But the flashback, that's one place where I'm kind of stumped. I don't know what the point of that's going to be. I guess unless that's just fan service to please us to go back to the clean white mask of old. And
yeah,
but and I just
the only thing I could see it doing story wise for us is getting a little backstory for Lonnie. If you bring him back as an adult, to give him a little bit more as a story from when 78 happened.
Yeah, and you would think that Lonnie would get his ass away from Haddonfield after all that happened.
Get your ass away from there.
No, but with the flashbacks, though, I feel like I actually am going to be a fan. I think I'm going to be a fan of it just because with flashbacks, you're developing characters, like, and you're probably going to develop Michael more as a character, and we get to learn a little bit more about him. Even though I'm on this side of, like, really, the less we know about Michael, the better. Because, like, the less you know about something or someone, that's just truly terrifying. But I say with the flashbacks, like, we can go with a Tommy Doyle flashback of what he's been up to back in the day. And same thing with Lindsay, and same thing with Marion Chambers, like all that.
Yep.
I feel like it's going to be nice. Like, should they do like freaking like 10 flashbacks? No, I feel like 3 to 5 would be enough.
Yeah, you don't want to get into that Pennywise 2, It Chapter 2 situation where
where the middle act gets stale. Yeah.
Because half the movie's damn flashbacks. Like, I don't want to do that. But one, I think it looks cool, man. From what we saw in behind the scenes, they had all these old 70s cars out there.
Yep.
Nice freaking atmosphere with the nice lighting. And yeah, I think Michael, I mean, he's going to look the same as he did back in the day. It's going to be really cool, I think.
Yeah, I actually thought about the big flashback they will do is when they finally arrest Michael, like when they catch him right after he fell off the balcony.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to see that.
That's going to be the big one.
I know.
I don't want to see that. Not in the slightest. I hope they don't.
I just have a feeling, like, just based off storytelling, that's what they're going to do.
Well,
especially like with it's Brackett. Like, Brackett's the original officer, right?
Yeah.
He's the sheriff. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they'll do a flashback with him where he captured Michael. I feel like that's really going to happen. I don't want to see it either, but I feel like that's the direction they'll go.
Well, Hawkins was the one that was there, first, and so I mean,
if they did all those officers mixed around.
Yeah, Brackett's the sheriff from 78, and Annie's dad, and I mean, I don't know if you did anything with him in the flashback, you're gonna have to do some serious freaking CGI, de-aging, and I don't want to see that. I want to get all that mixed in there. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it could be cool, I guess. Not the capture thing. I don't want to do that, but just But seeing a young Hawkins, dude, you got to bring him back. Hawkins was badass, man. I wish he didn't die.
Hey, he might have not.
His legs are going to be broken, dude. He's going to be like, hey, dude. He probably turns into Ronnie. Yeah, I'm all broken up over here, bitch. I can't work.
There you go.
Freaking cast on all his. Oh god. Anyway, I mean, I think Gills is. I'm excited about it, man. I don't know. It's all speculation at this point what to expect, but I mean, is there anything that we haven't touched on that you guys want to see out of it? Don't want to see out of it?
I know Brett said about it. He thinks Karen's gonna die. I agree with that as well. And honestly, unless our character develops within the first part of this movie, if she does die, it really won't mean anything to me personally. I know a lot of other people because they don't really like her in this movie. I think I want to see Allison kind of take another step as to progressing into quote unquote the new Laurie, which I think that's what they're probably going to kind of push for. Which I do like Allison a lot, so I'm hoping that that's the way it goes. What the hell was her boyfriend's name? Cameron.
Cameron.
I hope he dies because he's
Yeah.
a guy. But I think they're gonna try to have him have like a redeeming quality probably, and then get killed by Michael.
Kind of like Brady from Halloween 4.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be like a nice little wink that's not over like in your face.
Which I hope Halloween Kills does not do a lot of like the winking and all that like that Halloween 18 did. Because we got that all out of the way. Let's just focus on the story now.
True, and we know we're getting that stinking break in the window thing without the wrench this time. But, that's blatantly obvious to the original, so they're not, and they already shoved that in your face, so you know that's coming.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're gonna let us down. I think after I watch this movie, a very bold statement, I'm saying that this one will jump Halloween 2018 for me, and will probably go to number 1. I'm just gonna say right now.
I do think I'm going to like it more than 2018 as well, just because the setup's done and it's time to get to business. I think I maybe that's being a little bit too optimistic. I don't know, but you don't have to worry about all the breaking out Michael stuff. He's already out, and we can just get freaking straight into this thing, man.
Yeah, exactly. And as Matt already said, and I said, I feel like Karen is going to die because I think that that's why Allison just did that big whole screaming moment we saw in the teaser trailer. Like, I feel like that's what it is. And that actually does look like when Allison was outside that door, that did kind of look like she was outside the Myers house. So kind of like that would be interesting to see. And plus just to see Laurie train Allison to set up for Halloween Ends and just to have that final conclusion, which, ends. You got to have a strong conclusion. So that everything we've like story-wise we've been telling with this trilogy has a proper ending, like a satisfying ending. And I feel like they're really going to pull off the ending.
I do too. So if we're all speculating at this point, we don't know shit, so we can just throw this out there. We're speculating even on kills at this point that it's going to be a bloodbath, freaking rampage, Michael Myers movie out there tearing shit up from beginning to end. So assuming that happens, let's go ahead and speculate a little bit farther and see what we would like to see in Halloween Ends, since you just brought that up, Brett. So we 2's done, bloodbath. We'll assume some main characters die, at least a main character or 2.
Yeah.
Where can we go? How can we wrap this bad boy up? What kind of freaking craziness can we see in Halloween Ends?
That's the tougher question.
I know.
Movies, because obviously that's based off of what happens in Kills. So
exactly.
Oh man, I'm assuming. I know there was the rule that you're not allowed to kill Michael, but I think it's going to happen this time. I don't think they're going to leave it open ended again, because then this whole quadrilogy means nothing really if it doesn't end eventually. I don't think it's going to be a Laurie living happily ever after type of deal. I think she's going to probably step in, save probably Allison. I'm gonna guess, and probably sacrifice herself. Which, I mean, she is getting kind of older, so it's about that time. I think. So I think she sacrifices herself, and I think maybe Allison's going to be the one to once and for all kill Myers, but. How? That's a different story. Story. We've already tried the burnings and shit. That doesn't work. So
what about the explosion, dude? Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah. Or we'll call the damn. Yeah, like where's the SWAT team? Like in Jason Goes to Hell. Like they don't want to come to Haddonfield to do that to Michael. Come on. And
then they'll set up a sequel to that, and freaking he'll be eating hearts out of people and freaking transferring bodies and
just stole it. I was going to say that, except for if they probably did that with Michael Myers, I'd probably like it.
And then Freddy's glove comes up from hell and grabs the Myers mask, going
And yeah, I'd be hypocritical, and then I'd probably like that one and hate Jason Goes to Hell. But I think Michael and Laurie are both gonna hit the deck, and I don't anticipate a lot of kills in Halloween Ends. I don't honestly know how there could be if they kill most of the people in the second movie. So I think the kills will be watered down a little bit, and that's probably going to be just more focused on the story and how to eventually kill Myers once and for all, compared to Michael just slashing and killing everybody.
Yeah, I think it's great they have this opportunity to flesh it out, to make one epic final movie, 2 movies, and I think that's cool. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and like just the main thing for me with Halloween Ends, I feel like you have to end it where it began, and that's inside the Myers house. I feel like Laurie and Michael will have their final clash inside that house, and that's my big one. I feel like that's the proper way to end this trilogy, and with the Michael Myers and Laurie Strode arc.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But that brings up the question, and what's the point of building up Allison when you're just going to end up with those two? So it's hard to predict all this without knowing kills, because I haven't even actually filmed a single thing for Halloween Ends yet, from what I understood.
Nope.
No, they were going to, and then COVID.
The global bastard happened.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice. I just want to see some good arcs in that one, man, and good themes. Obviously, this is kind of like it's similar to what we're talking about in The Exorcist the other day, Bert, which we'll be dropping that soon to slash it out. Is that it's the battle of good and evil, man, and Michael's obviously the evil and everything. That's what he symbolizes, and you want the story to end, like you said, Matt, because it can't go on forever. Otherwise, it doesn't have any meaning. At least this story of Michael and Laurie and all that. Not that I want to see Michael go away forever, because I don't. But you got to end this story, this trilogy. I'd like to see a confined trilogy with all of its ideas, all of its arcs, all of its themes, everything kind of coming to a conclusive bow at the end. You can leave some ambiguity there, sure, I think, and whatnot, at least with the, maybe a continuance of the good and evil that's going to go beyond this. But in this confined story, I want to see it ended there. And I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I think it would be good for Amy Matichak to be the final piece of this. After a little bit more development in 2, you get to care about her a little bit more, and in 3, she kind of becomes the main character. And Laurie, maybe Laurie doesn't kill Michael. Maybe she sacrifices herself or weakens Michael, and maybe Amy comes in and freaking takes over and kills him once and for all. It'd be kind of cool. The third generation, you could see that battle kind of going on 3 generations from 78 to now.
Yep.
And I think that would be cool. And Myers House, Brett, I think that's a great idea, a great place to end it. That would be cool, because that's where the evil was essentially born in this storyline.
Yep.
So I think that's cool, man. I think that's good. And again, like you said, a nice story-driven movie after Kills is a freaking action fest, man.
Yep.
And then you get redemptions and you get everything. You get the good guys winning, at least for now. A nice conclusion, an epic conclusion, as you would say.
Yeah, and with the Allison, do you know what would be bold if I'm going back to Halloween Kills real quick. Do you know what would be bold, but I just really doubt it'll happen? What if they killed Karen and Laurie? So we don't even have to worry about that for Halloween Ends. So we could just fully invest in Allison as she tries to get revenge on Michael. Like, I don't think it would happen, or I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis will come back for all 3 of these movies. But that's just possibility.
Yeah. Here's what I think. I think the hospital, Laurie being in the hospital, she's going to be there for a minute. She got pretty wounded in the first one. I think that's kind of her safe haven. That's a place she can hang out while this story progresses without her being involved in it as much.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of what they're going to do with that. I think she's not going to die there, but she's not going to be as heavily involved in the story either. It's going to have to. Michael's going to be involved, right? And then maybe the third one ends. She comes out and she's more involved again and kind of wraps the story up. She's going to be in the second one, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it's kind of just a place for her to be on the side while other things happen. kind of reverting her back to a side character. Maybe we'll see how they decide to go with it. Which I think is cool, and I think that's a good decision. She's obviously going to come back for Ends because she's the moneymaker, right? Like she's, I mean,
that's true.
She's their draw. She's our conduit. So I think that's going to happen, but I think she can at least be on the side a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anything to add there on that account?
Like you said, she's the big name on the ticket, so she's gonna be in Ends, even if she's not in it very long. Maybe gets killed off in, like a Drew Barrymore type of situation right in the beginning.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea.
Which would be fantastic, and that would get the shock and the awe right off the bat. But then the movie could just totally go downhill from there because you just climax at the beginning and then had nowhere higher to go. But
yeah,
she's
Resurrection,
she's gonna be in both of them, obviously. Like you said, she's gonna be reduced to the hospital bed, so she's not gonna be a main character in the second one. I don't believe it's gonna be more of Michael, Karen, and Allison trying to go out and seek revenge for their mother and grandma. But when Laurie does finally die, it has to mean something. It can't just be unceremonial, little quick slice, little quick stab, up, she bled out, she's dead. No, it has to mean something. And I don't think they're gonna let us down when it comes to that.
I think you're right. Okay, so here's a question. What do you guys think? Obviously, it's confirmed this one's taking place right after 2018. Halloween Kills is. It's going to be same night strategy, just like 1 was, 1 and 2, the original. But what do you think Ends is going to do? Do you think it's going to follow the same night? I don't know. The one night, I mean, how long can you make a movie out of one night? Or do you think they're going to let things breathe a little bit, maybe set it off a little bit down the road, a year down the road, whatever? Like maybe that way Laurie can get all healed up, be 100%. Freaking our boy Hawkins can get healed up. He can get out of those casts. He can come back. And just have, you can have a year of reminiscing. You could have a year, whatever happens in Kills is going to be a shit show. Like whoever dies, you can have a year. You could maybe have a year. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with the Michael explanation, but at the end of the day, it's not really relevant. He's the Shape. He does what he wants. He can heal up. He can get his freaking fingers growing back, like in that one. But I think it might be a good idea just to let the story breathe a little bit after Kills, not have it all in one night. Again, it does kind of create a little bit more convolution there. Yeah, that's a word, and whatnot. But I think it would be cool to see Laurie and everybody maybe a year down the road after the shit show of Halloween Kills. So what do you think they're going to do with that?
I've read that they're all three supposed to be on the same night, which like you said though, how long is this damn night? Like
exactly.
Halloween 2018 was just like the first 3 hours, and then Halloween Kills is the next 3 hours, and then Ends is the next 3 hours. There's so much shit.
Yeah, so what's it gonna do? Is it gonna end at like 11:59 p.m. on October 31st?
It's like we're seeing it in real time, dude. Seeing the whole night. Which I think, I don't know. I think a whole trilogy in one night can get a little stale, I think. I'm a little bit worried about that. I mean, again, you have to kind of keep, you don't want to create, anything weird like Michael sleeping with a hobo for a year and waking up and, putting his mask back on.
You sure?
But I don't know. I think you do a little bit more for the story if you stretch it out a little bit and let it breathe.
Yeah, then you can make a movie in between Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, and you could just call it Halloween Michael Adventures with Hobo. So,
Tookie, they got the parrot and the whatever the bird was, and all kinds of shit. I agree with you though. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think it'd be nice to let a year go by that night, let everybody recuperate, because that's great. Oh, Laurie's going to come back for Halloween Ends. Well, that's only 2 hours after Halloween Kills. So she's still incapacitated and unable to do anything. So technically, it really wouldn't make any sense that she's ready to fight now. So a year later would make a lot of sense, but I don't think that's the way they're going to go, though.
That's unfortunate. I'm really leaning towards that now, I think, because I think it would be nice. You have a chance for her to recover. You have a chance for her to sit there and think about if Karen dies. You have a chance for her to sit there and think about that for a year. She's going to be even more amped up then than she was in 2018, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
you get to train Allison for a full year too, so she can be like in finding shape and form, and she'll be extra motivated too when her mother dies. Her mother and her father die, and her shitty boyfriend Cameron. So I feel like I'm starting to heavily go that direction too. Like, let's wait a year where everything just develops and everything just explodes with ends.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I guess I was thinking maybe there's not a lot of trilogies you see where it's pretty much real time, you know? I mean, that's a lot.
Oh, but, wait. There is kind of one, but it's not the same day. It's like the same weekend. Kind of. Friday the 13th, part 2, 3, and 4 technically happened in the same weekend, which really doesn't kind of make any sense, but that's what they said.
Jason had a lot of
out the mask and the body figures.
Well, he grew his hair. He cut it down. He wanted to get a freaking haircut. And then he wanted to, he grew his fingernails out, went to the gym, cut out his saturated fats.
Yep.
And,
I bet he went to Global Gym.
That's true. I mean, you see it from time to time, but you could make it a couple days later, but then it's not Halloween anymore. But true. I mean, you're still the same story. I guess it would make sense, but I don't know. One night's a lot. That's a lot. It would be cool. I think the arc would be better served if you have a little bit of breathing room, but I don't know. If they're going to do it all in one night, they'll do it all in one night. At least it makes sense for Michael. But you get a chance for Michael to recoup, and think about things, eat a few dogs and put on some pounds maybe. I don't know. Find some shoulder
that sounds rough.
That it does, Bert.
That's like you said though. The 40 years from Halloween 78 to 2018, obviously, he was in the asylum. So if he goes away for a year, where's this version of Myers going to go for that whole year? Like, you have to think about what's he going to do.
Yeah, I mean, you think about that, and you think about Halloween 2, where he's walking around. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. He's walking around freaking hobo, which I like that. I did, because it was. I mean, it makes sense. But it. But at the same time, he's the freaking Shape. He doesn't have to be explained. He does what he wants. It doesn't really matter. He's got psychological elements there to him, so it's not like, supernatural elements there to him. And I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, the first one he comes out, he knows how to drive like that. You don't really have to explain that. He was doing very well last night. You don't really have to explain that. You don't have to explain the fact that he's freaking behind bushes and behind clothes racks. It's part of his character.
True.
So, I don't think it needs an explanation, but it would create questions, no doubt. But I don't know. It's tough. It's tough what you do with him, because Jason's different. He can go off, he can go out in the woods, he can do whatever he does.
Yep.
And you expect that from him. He's Jason. Obviously, Freddy's the same way. Like, it doesn't really matter. Michael, I just don't see him. You're right. It creates questions, but at the same time, I don't think they have to be answered.
True. Just don't go the hobo jacket way. I don't want to see that again.
or the shoulder pads in Halloween 4.
Or the shoulder pads.
Yeah, or the blonde Michael.
That was a nice match.
Yeah, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, though, I think the themes are important. As long as they conclude everything off end to ends, I think it's going to be a successful story. And I think, honestly, this thing we got going on right now is a highlight. It's the highest moment of the franchise, assuming these movies are good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, I think Halloween, the 78 original is not going to be beat, but there hasn't been a lot of high points in the franchise beyond that, as far as consecutive movies go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's great.
Do you know what would be cool? And I know I said earlier, just reduce kind of like hey, this is a reference towards like Halloween 5 and all that. But this one, the idea I just thought of, I would actually just be perfectly fine with. What if Michael actually does go to the hospital and he's bandaged up like he did in Halloween 4, and we get to see more of that? Because I did love that look in Halloween 4, and I felt like we should stick with that look. So to have him go around killing people with the bandage while he's looking for his burnt mask to put on, even though be like, but Brett, the face, the mask, it's just dive in with the skin with the heat and all that. But I would love to see another bandage look Michael Myers.
Well, Brett, in the trailer, it shows that as a possibility, I guess. His mask is on the ground at one point, and then you see his hand all bandaged up like he has been to the hospital. So that's interesting.
And it makes sense because Lori screamed Michael in that teaser trailer from the hospital door.
With the ambulance pulling up. Yeah, I mean, he could go up there and get bandaged
he could kill
up.
all the firemen and all that and just pass out, and that's when the ambulance comes in.
Exactly. I think you might have nailed it right on the head. I think he broke. Obviously, the firefighters helped him get out, and obviously they don't know who he is because they didn't get a warning or anything. They're just trying to get him out. Kills them, comes out. He's exhausted for the battle that he just went through, and I mean he is quote unquote technically kind of a human. So
sure, yeah.
So the smoke inhalation and all that shit could have got to him, and makes it out. Like you said, passes out. They take his mask off, which would make sense why he doesn't have his mask on. And obviously, like you said, Brad, they saw the bandage wrapped around his hand. So obviously they were trying to treat him, and they could have bandaged his face up. And maybe
he did get shot there.
Maybe we will get a little.
That would be such a good shot.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. And then he just unravels that, drops that, and puts the mask back on, and the music kicks in.
Yeah, so another good score opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Brad's getting excited over here. I like that, dude.
Do you know what would be the good shot with Bandage Myers? Because you know you gotta have like at least something where you can see. What if we saw his blind eye?
Yep,
that'd be cool.
Like that would be freaky to look at. That'd be a good cinematography shot. But yeah, I'm getting excited too, like because that could be a great score opportunity, kind of like how Myers put on the mask in 18. And just to see him put it back on the burnt mask, I'm getting excited already just thinking about that.
That's a very interesting way to take it, man. Because a lot of people don't want to see Michael being humanized, arrested, taken in, freaking putting on a stretcher and to the hospital. But I think that's an interesting way because you could see that actually happening. They come in there, freaking go to treat him, get him all bandaged up and stuff, and then he freaking wakes up and it's time to tear shit up again. I think, yeah, dude. And if they give him a little bit of an adrenaline shot, dude.
Yeah, true. Then he kills the mob at the hospital and it goes up to 160. There you go. It makes more sense now.
Freaking jacked up Michael, dude. Pumped up on adrenaline, out there freaking slaying bitches. I could see that, dude. Totally.
Yeah, and plus he did technically spoke in Halloween 2018 when you guys freaking fingers shot off. He went, ugh. Yeah, so if he were pure evil, he wouldn't have said anything.
True.
Do you think, Brett, this is a question for you. Do you think we can redeem Michael in this movie like we did Darth Vader back in the day?
Yeah, like, again...
Let me take this mask off.
Oh, gosh, no. I thought you were going something else, but no, that was another nice comparison, too. For this needs to be Michael Myers' movie for Halloween Kills, just like how it's the Empire's movie for Empire Strikes Back. So Michael Myers has to win in Halloween Kills, or it means nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure, dude. You gotta create that intrigue for the last one. You can't end on some happy ending and just have it come all back again. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. Sure. So I think that's a great place to take it, man. And that's a very interesting concept with him going to the hospital and getting bandaged. I like that. I hope we see that.
That'd be badass. Something else just came to me. The way that the first one, 2018, ended, obviously, Lori, they trapped him down there. They thought that was it. He was going to die. In the second, in Kills, maybe Myers finally gets to Lori and actually thinks he kills her. But then she comes back and surprises him, and Halloween Ends. I'm not saying I don't know how they would do that, but it would. Otherwise, if Michael thinks he won and he's like, hey, I'm going to go home now, I don't know how, and then they zoom back to wherever Lori was, and you see her like fingers move or something, or chest go up or something along those lines. I don't know. It could be like a little twist on the ending to the first one, but we'll see how that goes.
That's cool too. I like that. That's good for symbolism too, because you got the never-ending evil of Michael out there, and then that would go back to saying, oh well, there's always good out there too, And yeah, that would be kind of neat. That would be cool. That'd be a nice way to take it as well. Yeah, dude, I want a good setup at the end of Kills, dude. I do want a cliffhanger, man. I want something that's going to get me freaking pumped for the next one. and jacked to get to it. I mean, not a cliffhanger that's going to piss you off.
Oh yeah.
Like freaking like Walking Dead style, but like, something that's going to be intriguing. What you got, Brett? I see you're excited.
Yeah, I just thought of something, and this could be like another like, oh, they did this in the previous one, but we see Lori just hang out, resting, sleeping at the hospital, and then when Michael's like, you know what, I'm gonna go kill that bitch, so he goes to the hospital, like towards the end of the movie, when he finally gets to her room, she's gone, and then that's where the movie ends, and you'll be like, well, wait a minute, where did Lori go? Or is she dead and they moved her body? Or just so many questions. Again, another possibility. But I liked Matt's idea better.
Some Halloween 2 stuff there.
Oh yeah, where she puts the pillows in there.
Yeah, and they can fight in that hospital room. Yeah, again, there's just so many possibilities. Again, that's why I don't want to know anymore. I want to go in just thinking of all these and then let the theater tell me, not let the trailer. Because the movies are like making me mad right now with giving so much away in trailers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Although I will say I'm excited for another trailer just because it's been so long, and we should have already seen this freaking movie, man.
I know.
So it's killing me. We should be doing this. Should be a purely in speculation video at this time, but it's not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I mean, I think I'm jacked overall. Like I said, what do you guys think? Do you think this is like a freaking highlight of the franchise overall, man? Like what they're doing right now, the resurgence of Michael, a good positive setup. Obviously, it all depends on how these next two movies go, but I think they're set up nicely. I think we're going to see some good things. So, I mean, are you glad, or overall, are you glad they brought the franchise back, and are you happy with what you're seeing? I think I know the answer to that from both of you.
I don't even like Halloween. I hate when that Jason comes out and slices up.
That's not even your basement, isn't it? You're just borrowing your next door neighbors.
Yes, this isn't even my house. They just didn't find me down here yet. I'm jacked. Like you said, this has to be the best part of the franchise in the history, besides obviously the original, because 1 and 2 was supposed to be a story. Done. They came out with the third one. People hated it. Oh, let's bring Michael back again. Oh, that's a good movie. Let's give us a shit show in Halloween 5. Trash. Then Halloween 6. Let's confuse everybody. He's having babies and doing nasty things. Okay, let's scrap that idea and let's go to H2O, which I love H2O. So that was the highlight of the franchise for me. But they ruined it, obviously, with, oh, that wasn't him. That was just some other dude just playing. And then bringing my boy Busta Rhymes, which we should go watch party for that because that would be fantastic.
I think that's a great idea.
And
man. I just love the Busta Rhymes thing. Like, have him come here and Halloween Kills going, trick or treat, mother, and then Michael kills him immediately.
Yeah, that would be cool, but at the same time, they're like, wow, that was corny as hell. A lot of fans would enjoy watching that. And then Rob Zombie gave us his fantastic 2 movies that are enjoyable for some, not enjoyable for others. So this trilogy that David Gordon Green has given us now is by far the shining star of this franchise, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and it's very organized too, versus like going all over the place. And again, I hope it makes sense. I still think it's too early. I want to see Halloween Kills before I can make a full like opinion on the direction and just like the highlight, like if it does truly highlight the franchise.
Yeah, and like you said, man, it all comes back to that continuity. This is the first time in the franchise, aside from Rob Zombie, we've had the same director come back to direct their own sequel. And, obviously Rob Zombie's his own kind of thing. So, he kind of, so yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Even going from 1 to 2, you change directors. Going from 2 to 4, you change directors. 4 to 5, you change directors. 5 to 7. Everybody, you're always been playing with other people's stories, and it shows when you're watching the franchise. Now we have freaking 3 movies in a row that are freaking the same. It's going to be the same production, the same everything. And I think, I think it's going to be great for the franchise. I think absolutely fantastic. Great continuity. No franchise in the big 3. None of the big 3 have had this kind of continuity at any point. So it's going to be neat, man. And I'm excited to see where it takes the franchise for what you can do with the slasher in a 4 movie arc with, one story. Yeah, we haven't really seen that. Everything in the big three has been bouncing around with the rules and the engagement, and like everything's it's changed it up from movie to movie.
Yep.
And this is cool. It's an interesting way to see it happen, and I'm excited about it overall. I'm pumped.
No doubt.
Pumped to the pecs for more Michael, dude. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens. But yeah, man, I mean, that being said, is there anything else you guys want to add, talk about, discuss, anything that we missed?
That was badass discussion.
Yeah, I think we killed it.
I think so, man. I think okay, last question for you guys. We kind of just answered it. But do you think how do you think this trilogy is going to impact the original movie? Do you think it's going to add to it? Do you think it's going to make it better? Do you think it's going to subtract from it, just from what we know now and what we're speculating now at the end of the day?
I would think about the same, because that original is just always going to be the highlight of that franchise. And no matter what you do based off that movie to me is like its own entity because without that original movie, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. So that one is always just going to be at the top no matter what you do.
Yeah.
True. I'd probably say the same as well. I don't think it can get any more meaningful, really, because it established this whole franchise that we love. It's just getting built off of. I mean, I'm probably going to love these other movies more than the original, but the original's it isn't like Friday the 13th, with the original I don't really like hardly at all. I just don't get into that one that much. This one, I still love it. I like this Halloween 78, 2018, Kills and Ends. I love them all. I'm probably going to love them all. They could probably get interchanged for number one, number two, whatever. So it's just going to be a four-way tie for number one then. It's not going to change 78 for me at all. It's amazing film, and it can't change.
I agree. As long as they don't do anything crazy with the flashbacks that change the overall trajectory, I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to add some stuff to that original, much better than the original sequels did at the end of the day. So I think, I'm excited. So I think, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys, right?
Yeah. You want us to take us home?
Yeah, dude, go ahead.
All right. So what did you think about our conversation about the Halloween trilogy? Do you kind of agree with some of our philosophies, or do you have something that we just totally didn't mention? Let us know in that comment section down below, and let's just get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can locate us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter, Snapchat. They're all down there somewhere. Spotify. We got Instagram, I think I already mentioned. And
Apple Podcast.
Apple freaking Podcast. Those links are going to be in the descriptions, as well as Matt Facci's links right over there for his YouTube channel, right over there, his Facebook, his Instagram. We're going to slap all that down there for you guys. Great stuff for Halloween. If you like Halloween, obviously this is the place you need to be, right over there in the freaking Dungeon of Michael. With all the he does it all, man. Great Halloween stuff, horror in general. He's the man. That's it.
Yeah, and Matt, is there anything coming up on your channel? It is February the 6th as of this recording, so if you have anything coming up.
February 10th, bring on Chris Snyder for my favorite non-Halloween slasher watch party with My Bloody Valentine from 1981. Nice. And then the following Wednesday after that, episode 3 of Filthy with Facci, we're bringing on Jason Smith from Sinister Cinemas.
Oh, so that's huge.
That's going to be fantastic. Me and Dan are jacked about that. For myself, that's probably going to be more of, I just sit down and be quiet while I let them two discuss, because they're way smarter than me. And I'll just sit back and take the rude comments that Jason's probably going to give me, because that's just but that's fine. And then on the 24th, I bring on I think it's the 24th. I bring on Robbie Sobel and Destiny, and we're going to talk about 2000s horror, because
that's going to be a good video.
Because me and Robbie are kind of similar in age, and then Destiny's obviously way younger than us, so it's going to be interesting to take her, her perception of the 2000s compared to ours. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, and get ready for some Jennifer Bodies talk too.
That'll be all her, because I've only ever seen it once, and I don't know really anything about it.
Oh, well, you need to get working on that. But no, Matt, we appreciate you for being on on with us today for some Halloween Trilogy talk. Guys, he is the best mediocre content creator out there. I'm kidding, guys. No, he is a great YouTuber. And so, yeah, please give him a subscribe because I know you're on your quest to 300 subs, and we need to get that done for you.
Getting there.
Absolutely, dude. And hopefully we can get that Trimmers 2 in at some point because I'm ready to see Fred Ward freaking tear it up, dude.
We can get that done.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and be sure also, guys, to like this video, subscribe, and share our channel. It does help us out, and we are on that quest to 200 subs. We have a very special project that we're going to be working on for the 200 sub celebration. Might be a little dancing involved. And also ring that bell, ding, 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 so you know when the next video is up and available.
And we will. See you guys soon.
And Matt, this is where we point at the screen. There we go.
Hulk Hogan style.
Brother.
Brother.
Hey, brother.